If I asked you right now how much passive income you'd need to retire, what would you say? Most people either wildly overestimate or have genuinely no idea. Some say $10,000 a month, some say $20,000 a month. A few people say $100,000 a month, which tells me they've been watching too many influencers on Instagram. Here's what almost nobody tells you. For most people, the number is much smaller than you think. And once you know the actual formula, retirement stops feeling like a fantasy and starts feeling like a math problem, a solvable one. In this video, we're going to walk through exactly how to calculate your retirement number, how much in assets you need to generate it, and most importantly, a realistic picture of how long it could take to get there. One simple calculation can tell you whether you're 5 years away from retirement or 35. Let's figure out which one you are. Let's start by dismantling the biggest myth around retirement, because if you don't get this right, nothing else we cover today will make sense. Most people think retirement is about age. You work for 40 years, you turn 65, you stop. The script society handed us. And for most of the 20th century, it more or less held up. You had a pension, you had Social Security, and between the two, you could cover your bills. That's not the world most of us are living in anymore. Retirement isn't about age. Retirement is about income. Specifically, it's the moment when your passive income covers your living expenses and you no longer need a job to maintain your lifestyle. Think about what that means. Someone spending $3,500 a month, $42,000 a year, who builds $45,000 a year in passive income is retired, whether they're 35 or 65, whether or not they ever touch a 401k, whether or not they've punched a clock for 40 years. And someone earning six figures at a job but spending every dollar of it, they're one layoff away from financial crisis. That's not retirement. That's a very comfortable treadmill. The question that actually matters isn't how old you are. It's this: does your passive income exceed your expenses? If yes, you're free. If no, that's the gap we're working to close. Now that we've redefined what retirement actually means, let's get the most useful thing in this video: calculating your freedom number. Your freedom number is the annual passive income you need to cover your expenses. Once your passive income hits that number consistently, you can retire on your terms, on your timeline. The math is straightforward. Take your monthly expenses and multiply by 12. If you spend $3,000 a month, your freedom number is $36,000 a year. If you spend $5,000 a month, it's $60,000 a year. If you spend $8,000 a month, it's $96,000 a year. Right now, I want you to pause this video or just take a mental note and estimate your own number. Don't overcomplicate it. Take what you spend in a normal month, multiply by 12, and that's your target. Most people are surprised when they do this for the first time. The number is usually less overwhelming than they expected, because most of us don't actually spend as much as we fear. And a lot of what we spend is driven by the job itself. The commute, the wardrobe, the stress-induced spending. Remove the job, and the expenses often drop with it. One important note here: your freedom number should include a buffer. Don't calculate the bare minimum and assume that's enough. Build at least 10 to 20% above your current expenses to account for inflation, unexpected costs, and the fact that you'll probably want to do more with your time once you have it. So if your monthly expenses are $4,000, don't target $48,000. Target $55,000 to $60,000. Give yourself room to actually live. Now that you have your freedom number, the next question is, how much do you need invested to generate it? There's a concept called the 4% rule. It's most widely cited retirement planning framework in the world, and it works like this. Research from Trinity University found that if you withdraw 4% of your investment portfolio each year, a diversified portfolio has historically been able to sustain those withdrawals for at least 30 years, even accounting for market downturns. The idea is that your investments grow at a rate that keeps pace with or exceeds what you're pulling out. So here's the math. To calculate the portfolio you need, divide your annual expenses by 0.04, or equivalently, multiply by 25. Need $40,000 a year? You need a $1 million portfolio. Need $60,000 a year? You need $1.5 million. Need $100,000 a year? You need $2.5 million. Now, before your eyes glaze over at those numbers, two things. First, the 4% rule applies specifically to traditional investment portfolios, stocks, bonds, index funds. It doesn't account for rental income, YouTube revenue, digital product sales, or any other income streams we talk about on this channel. We're going to come back to that in just a minute because it changes the picture significantly. Second, the 4% rule is a guideline, not a guarantee. It's based on historical market performance, and past performance doesn't promise future results. Many financial planners now recommend targeting 3 to 3.5% to add more cushion. The principle still holds. You need a multiple of your annual expenses in invested assets. The exact multiple is something to calibrate with a financial advisor over time. Here's where the evergreen income approach changes the retirement conversation entirely. Most retirement planning assumes a single source of passive income, your investment portfolio. Save enough, withdraw 4%, done. And that's your only tool. You need a very large portfolio to make it work. But what if you built multiple income streams, each generating a portion of your freedom number, instead of depending on one massive pile of money to do all the heavy lifting? Let's use $60,000 a year as the target. A comfortable retirement for a lot of people. The traditional path says save $1.5 million in investments and withdraw from it. That's one approach. Here's another. $15,000 a year from Dividend investments. That's a portfolio of roughly $375,000, less than a quarter of the traditional number, paying a 4% dividend yield. $15,000 a year from a single rental property, cash flowing $1,250 a month after expenses. $10,000 a year from a faceless YouTube channel, about $833 a month, which is well within reach for a mid-sized channel in a strong niche. $10,000 a year from affiliate marketing commissions across a blog or YouTube channel, and $10,000 a year from digital product sales, templates, courses, downloads that sell on autopilot. Add those up. $60,000. The same retirement income, no single $1.5 million portfolio required. Instead, a small investment account, one property, and 3 digital income streams. Each one manageable on its own and collectively bulletproof. That's the portfolio approach. And that's why building multiple income streams isn't just a side hustle strategy, it's a retirement strategy. Let's make this concrete with 3 scenarios, because retirement isn't one size fits all, and the right target for you depends entirely on how you want to live. Scenario 1, lean retirement. Monthly expenses, $3,000, annual freedom number, $36,000. This is the minimalist path. A paid-off modest home, low overhead, flexible lifestyle. Maybe you travel slowly, cook at home, live somewhere with a low cost of living. This is retirement that's achievable faster than almost anyone expects. Using the multi-stream approach, you could hit $36,000 a year with a combination of $150,000 in dividend investments, generating around $6,000, a small digital product income of $12,000 a year, affiliate marketing of $10,000 a year, and a YouTube channel at $8,000 a year. That's a very real portfolio for someone willing to build it over 5 to 8 years. Scenario 2, comfortable retirement. Monthly expenses, $5,000. Annual freedom number, $60,000. This is a scenario we walked through in the last section. A nice home, reasonable travel, a few luxuries, no financial stress. achievable with the diversified income portfolio we described: dividends, one rental, YouTube, affiliates, digital products. Timeline with consistent effort and reinvestment: 8 to 15 years for most people starting from scratch. Scenario 3, high income retirement. Monthly expenses, $8,000. Annual freedom number, $96,000. This is the lifestyle with a mortgage or rent in a higher cost of living city, regular travel, premium experiences, still achievable, but it requires a larger investment base, multiple income streams, all firing, and likely a rental property or two. Timeline, 12 to 20 years for most people, or faster if you start with meaningful capital or generate high income in your building phase. The key lesson across all three: retirement is personal. Don't let someone else's number define your timeline. The question I get asked most often isn't how much do I need, it's how long is this actually going to take? And the honest answer is it depends on two things: how much you invest or build toward it each month, and when you start. Let's look at the investment side first. If you're contributing $500 a month into a diversified portfolio, earning an average of 8% annually, a conservative long-term assumption for a broad market index fund, you'd reach $375 in roughly 27 years. If you bump that to $1,000 a month, you get there in about 18 years. At $2,000 a month, you're there in 13. Now layer in the digital income streams, a YouTube channel that takes 18 months to monetize and eventually generates $8,000 to $12,000 a year. Affiliate marketing that builds to $10,000 a year by year 2 or 3. A digital product that earns $5,000 to $15,000 a year once distribution is established. Those income streams do two things simultaneously. They generate passive income directly, counting toward your freedom number from day one, and they generate capital you can redirect into investments, compressing the timeline on everything else. Someone investing $500 a month who also builds $20,000 a year in digital income and reinvests half of it isn't on a 27-year timeline anymore. They've cut years, sometimes decades off the clock. The most important thing this math shows us isn't a specific number, it's this: the sooner you start, the less money you ultimately need. Time in the market and time building your assets is the most valuable resource you have. Not capital, not connections, time. Here's the thing I want to leave with you, and it's something that might reframe this entire conversation. Most people who pursue passive income and financial independence don't actually want to stop working. Not really. What they want to stop is to stop working because they have to. That's a completely different thing. The goal isn't retirement in the traditional sense, sitting on a beach doing nothing for the next 30 years. Most people who hit financial independence keep building things. They start businesses, they travel and come back. They work on projects they care about. They spend more time with people they love. What passive income actually buys you isn't the absence of work. It buys you time, flexibility, the ability to say no to things that drain you and yes to the things that don't. Financial independence means your landlord can't threaten you. Your boss can't control you. Your mortgage doesn't own you. You show up where you want, when you want, because you want to, not because you have to. That's what we're building toward on this channel. Not a retirement number. Freedom of choice. And it starts with knowing your number, building your first income stream, and letting time do the compounding. Let's bring it home. Your freedom number is your monthly expenses multiplied by 12. Once you have that number, multiply it by 25 to find the investment portfolio that could sustain it. Then consider how digital income streams, YouTube, affiliates, digital products, rental income can reduce how much of that portfolio you actually need. Lean retirement is $3,000 a month, comfortable at $5,000, high income at $8,000. Pick the scenario that fits your life and then start building toward it. Now, I want to hear from you. What's your freedom number? Drop it in the comments. I read every one and I'll reply. And if you want to see exactly how I'd build $100,000 a year in passive income starting from scratch, that's in a future video. Subscribe so you don't miss it. This is Evergreen Income. The compounding starts now.